Hey up lads, I'm Scrap Iron Steve, and welcome to my Earthbound Immortal deck profile. Yeah. Earthbound Immortals. They're not good, but I can confidently say they're one of the most fun decks I own, because they don't generally do much, but when they do, they go off hard. And if you don't know what the Earthbound Immortals are, they're 7, well, giant god things from the 5D's anime. And they can't survive without a field spell. That's what makes them so shit. But I'll be damned if I can't say that they are stupidly fun. So anyway, onto the deck profile. For the ratios of Immortals themselves, I play 3 Uru, so Red Spider Boy, 2 Silopiscu, the orange Hummingbird, and 2 Chakuchalua, the purple Killer Whale. Right, so, as I said before, there are 7 Earthbound Immortals. These 3 are the best 3. So what do? Well, they share the common effect of they die if there's no field spell, but they can't be targeted for attacks, and they can attack directly. It's that last part that makes them really, really stupidly good, if they go off well. So, they all share that effect, and especially as they've got massive damage, considering Uru is 3000, Silopiscu is 2,500 and Chakuchalua is 2,900 in terms of attack. It works pretty damn well. Now, the individual effects are pretty good as well, to be honest. Uru, tribute a monster to steal one of the opponent's monsters until the end of the turn. It's annoying it's until the end of the turn, but what can you do? A Silopiscu, when it leaves the field, 800 burn for each. Well, actually, no. It's destroy all the opponent's monsters and then do 800 burn for each. Yeah, it's good. If I get another Silopiscu, I'll probably bump down one of the Urus, to be honest. And Chakuchalua, if it's in defense mode, the opponent cannot even enter the battle phase, if I'm not mistaken. And you can just do burn equal to half its defense, so usually 1200. Actually, no, always 1200. So, yeah, they're alright. They're brilliant fun, and they are the main focus of the deck, because high damage is what this deck does. But, as I said, there are 7 of them. Why do I not play? Okay, so it's Kusalu the yellow monkey. What's the green one? Kokoraya the green lizard. Kokopakapu the blue giant. And Wirikocharaska the pink condor. Yeah, it's a condor. Well, Kusalu is crap. If it's attacked, I think you can negate the attack and halve the opponent's life points, or it's something like that. Hang on. It's something to that effect, and it's just not great, to be honest. I don't really see the point in it. It's not even got the highest attack of them all. Kusalu. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can tribute one other monster instead, and if you do, halve the opponent's life points. That's it. It's not going to be destroyed by battle. It's going to be destroyed when the field spell is destroyed, so not great. Kokoraya is, if it's destroyed, destroy everything on the field. That's nice, but Silopiscu is better for this pure deck. Because in certain other decks, Kokoraya actually works pretty damn well. Mainly ones that utilise stuff like Dragonic Diagram, which destroys in hand. That's nice. Or Fire Kings, especially as it nukes the field, and thus your Garunixes and fuck it. So yeah, Kokoraya is probably the... if I wasn't playing those 3, it would be Kokoraya. Kokopakapu is He's got kind of the same but opposite problem as Kusalu, because basically he's got a Flame Wingman effect, except you're attacking over the opponent's monsters rather than into them. I really don't understand that one. But he's 3,000 and he can destroy shit, so it works. Especially with Mound of the Bound Creator. And Wiroko Charaska. Possibly the worst of all of the cards in the deck. Because it's only got 100 attack usually. But when it's normal summoned, note, normal summoned, target up to 3 cards you control, shuffle them into the deck, and then discard as many random cards from your opponent's hands as possible, but not more than return cards, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack by each card discarded. That's not good. First off, it has to be normal summoned, and this deck does not normal summon at all. Shuffling your own cards into the deck, 3 of them for him to have a good attack. And especially if the opponent has no cards in hand, you still have, well, you don't have to, but then you'll have a 100 attack level 10 bird twat on the field. It's not worth it. There's too many hoops to jump through. So that's why it's those 3. Yeah. I need to stop rambling about those pointless monsters now. Then, onto the engine that I actually used to summon these bastards. 3 Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. 3 Supreme King Gate 0, and 3 Supreme King Gate Infinity. That's right, I fucking pendulum summon them. It's a stupid way of doing it, but it's the best one I've found. Because, of course, there's the Darkworm, then in Pendulum Scale, and use its effect to get Infinity, and because all the Earthbound Immortals are dark, you can just special summon straight away. That's nice. And Darkworm's only limitation is you can't pendulum summon except for dark monsters. So the one non-dark monster that you play in this deck, in the main deck, can be normal summoned, Knight Express Knight, and it doesn't look out your extra deck at all, so that's great. And basically, pendulum summoning them works. It's strange, but it works, so there's no reason not to play them. Also, the level 7s are nice because they work with the other Pendulum Tech card, which I play in this deck. It's not a great one, but it works. Odd Eyes! Yeah, it's a level 7, which is nice. It searches your Pendulum Scales, which is also nice. If you get it on the board, it's nice because it does the double battle damage if it battles an opponent's monster. Generally, a nice card. Bit slow, but what the fuck can you do about it? And the final monster in the deck, the 2 Knight Express Knight, as I explained earlier. This card works weirdly well, because as you're pendulum summoning, he won't lose his attack from being normal summoned. Which is nice. Because you can just pendulum summon him and an Earthbound Immortal out, you've got probably like 6,000 damage on board, which you can then go into rank 10, probably Gustav max, and burn for 2,000. That's ridiculous damage, and there's also stuff like Ravenous Tarantula, which works relatively well as well. So, yeah, he's mainly in there for Xyz, but he's also a massive body, which is really nice. And the reason I don't play Malefics over him is because, A, I don't have Malefics, and B, I'm pretty sure that they can't attack if they're... hang on. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack when they're on the field. The entire point of this deck is so that your Earthbound Immortals can attack. What's the fucking point? And also they've got the same weakness as the Earthbound Immortals. And this guy just sometimes serves as a body anyway, so this guy is better. Now, onto the integral parts of the deck. The field spells! 3 terraforming. It's entirely based around field spells. That's all you need to know. And onto the field spells themselves. Oh, and on the subject of field spell searches, I play one set rotation, the one that's allowed. Because, as you can see, I do play 2 field spells. Mausoleum the Emperor, it's pretty self-explanatory. Both players can normal summon a set monsters without tribute by paying 1,000 life points times the number of monsters needed to tribute them. So, search out this thing, pay 2,000, summon an Earthbound Immortal from hand. It's simple. It was the main play prior to the pendulum stuff. It works, so it's nice. And Mound of the Bound Creator. Most of this card's effects are useless because you don't play any Egyptian gods, because why the fuck would you? And if a level 10 or higher monster on the field destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, the opponent takes 1,000 damage. Again, you're not destroying monsters unless you're playing Kokopakapu for some reason, so yeah. But the first effect, level 10 or higher monsters on the field cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Including your own, by the way. That's nice. Especially considering I play Call of the Haunted in here. Which means if the Call of the Haunted is destroyed, you're fucking Earthbound Immortal in. I love that interaction. But yeah, it's basically stopping your Earthbound Immortals from being destroyed, except for unless this thing is destroyed, which it usually will be, because fucking hell, this deck is bad. Your board dies to an MST, for crying out loud. Oh, it's funny though. And draw power. 2 Pots of Desires, because nothing else works. I've tried Allure of Darkness, but you need every single monster you can get in your hand. So, now onto the traps. This might seem a bit of a weird one. 2 Dark Bribe. Why 2 Dark Bribe? As I just said, MST is the bane of your existence. Dark Bribe it is. But there is a card I'm planning on replacing this with. Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Discard a spell card, negate a spell card, and that cards with that name cannot be used for the rest of the duel. So, pitch a spell, negate an MST, MST can't be used, or Twin Twisters, or Cosmic Cyclone, or anything that can fuck me over. So Dark Bribe is a good substitute for now, but when I get my hands on those Cursed Seals, it's gonna be nice. Then, as I said earlier, Call of the Haunted, because all of your shit gets destroyed at some point in the duel, and it will happen, no doubt. Again, it's a shit deck, but it's very, very fun. And as I said earlier, it's got that interaction with Mound, and also, there's some weird stuff you can do with this, because when this is destroyed, and if it's got an Asilapiscu, if it's equipped to an Asilapiscu, or whatever, that kind of weird interaction, when this is destroyed, the Asilapiscu is destroyed. When a Asilapiscu is destroyed, nuke the opponent's board. Fuck. Yeah, it's a nice little interaction. There's nothing out wrong with it, and to be honest I prefer it against back to the front because, well, you don't want your Immortals in defense mode aside from Chaku. So, yeah. I like it. Then, 1 Bottomless, because I don't have any spare warnings at the moment. And also kind of you need your life points, so Bottomless does the job pretty well. And finally, the fun tech cards of the deck. Yup. Viruses. And attack of 2,000 or higher, 2,500 or higher, 2,000 or higher defense. Uru, 3,000, 3,000. Asilapiscu, 2,525. Chaku, 2,924. All of them are legitimate targets for these, which is nice. And so what deck dev does is tribute a dark monster with an attack of 2,000 or higher, check all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, their hand, and all cards they draw for the next 3 turns, and destroy all of them with an attack of 1,500 or less. That's nice, especially when a deck revolves around low power playmakers. I suppose like spirals, because Quick Fix can fuck off. And can drone. And Full Force Virus is essentially the same, but with low defense instead, which is nice, really nice, considering there's so many cards with low defense points but high attack values. Blue Eyes Chaos Max comes to mind with that. So, yeah. And personally my favourite, Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Declare spell or trap, the same shit of field, hand, next 3 turns, destroy all of them. Yeah, you can lock out your opponent's spell cards, or completely destroy Paleozoics. It's quite funny. And the best thing about these cards? Again, they have a brilliant interaction with a Silipiscu. Because tribute your Piscu for one of these, nuke the opponent's board. Yeah, that's why I like Eradicator Epidemic Virus so much. Nuke the opponent's front row with a Silipiscu, whilst nuking their back row hand and next 3 draws with Eradicator Epidemic Virus. It works really, really well. And I might take out the Bottomless for one more deck dev or full force. And that's the main deck done. Now, onto the extra deck. This, you don't really need to play an extra deck to be honest, aside from maybe a couple of rank 10s. But I do anyway because, to be honest, even though these are your side plays, they're better than your main plays. Especially this. Red Eyes Flare Metal, if you've got 2 of the gates or an Odd Eyes in hand, special summon them, Xyz into this. Burn your opponent every time they do anything. And it can't be destroyed by card effects. Well, it has Xyz material. Is it destroyed? Oh, yeah, it's destroyed. So, yeah, it's really nice, and you play level 7s, so why the fuck not? 2 Big Eye, because it's fucking Big Eye. It steals your opponent's monsters if you didn't know what that does. And now onto the rank 10s. 2 Gustav Max, he's important, because, as I said earlier, this deck revolves around massive damage, and he burns, which is nice. Especially as, if the opponent has a completely clear field, or has had their field cleared, actually I don't know how you could do that in this deck, but I'll ignore that. Silipiscu, what the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, so yeah, if they've got a completely clear field, and you attack with Night Express Knight and Uru, then go into this guy and burn them for the remaining 2,000. It's a very rare occurrence, but it has happened to me before, surprisingly. And yeah, it works. Then, Super Red Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superdora. For once, not as good as Gustav, to be honest, because she doesn't really do much for the deck. Because all she really does is protect herself and the field spell. So, is the field spell even protectable? No! It's just monsters. So yeah, just herself. Nah. But she's one of the best ranked 10s, so you might as well play her. And finally, Croissant Spider and Uncensored Spider. I don't actually have Watermelon Spider, which is the only reason why I don't play it. So, 7 Sins is fucking great, and can be overlaid on top of this guy. And attach 2 materials, banish as many special summon monsters your opponent controls as possible, and then attach one of those to this card as Xyz material. Busted. And if this face-up card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, detach 1 Xyz material instead. Busted. Great card on top of the 4,000 body, so there's no reason not to play it. But also, for once, Croissant Spider actually has a use. Because, well, all monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's. If you've done the Uru Night Express Knight thing, which you probably have done to get into this guy, that's some massive attack gain. Also, while this card has Xyz materials, each time your opponent special summons a monster, it inflicts 600 damage to the opponent. More burn, more attack. Wow. And once per turn you can detach one Xyz material from this card, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card's. Again, wow! Especially with the high damage. If anything, Ravenous Tarantula might be better than Seven Sins in this deck. Which is a really weird thing to say, but it works, so I'm not judging. So, and that's the extra deck lined up, because I only play 8 cards in it, because fuck it. You don't really need an extra deck aside from Ravenous Tarantula, Gustav, and maybe a Red Eyes Flare Metal. I just play the others as fluff. So, yeah. That's the end of the deck profile. Thank you all for watching, and I set my selfish down. See you next time.